Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Desmos, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empath free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-development. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. As a black sheep, you might have realized that for the most part of your journey, you have always been quiet. You have always been silent. You've always been the weird one. You've been always termed as called the weird one, termed as the strange one. You didn't fit in. So we can still relate that life wasn't easy. So if you have been a black sheep in a family, you can already concur with me that your life hasn't been easy. But there's one important thing I want to talk about in this video. You have usually noticed you are silenced. It didn't matter what you did. It didn't matter what was going on in the family. You know, they called the family gathering. There was a family wedding. There was a family meeting. They were looking for who is going to speak on that wedding. It didn't matter how educated you were, how intelligent you were, how smart you weren't chosen to speak. It did not matter how smart you weren't chosen to speak for that occasion. And most of the times, you have been also meeting your family members, you know, hiding in rooms. Sometimes you've been catching them gossiping about you. You've been sometimes catching them sending each other messages, and most of the times they've been talking about you. Now, I want to tell you something, black sheep. The black sheep of the family, you are the chosen one. You are the chosen one that has been sent to that family to bring healing to generational trauma that has been carrying on in that family for generations. But you see, the problem is there is people who recognize this. There is people spiritually. These people, these are your family members, your so-called family members. They recognize the spirit that is within the spirit that is within you. But you see, the problem is when people are recognizing you on that level, they already know that whatever is going to come out of your mouth is going to be the truth. So most of the times you're going to hit family members and other siblings with the hard truth. And most of the times, a lot of them are not ready for the truth. So you see, as a black sheep, one thing what will happen from a very young age, the very first thing they're going to take away from you, the very, very first thing, even before they start anything else, the very first thing they take away from you, as soon as you start speaking, as soon as you start talking, you have said your first word initially, they are going to make sure that they take away your voice from you. So when you're dealing with these narcissistic parents, you know, most of the times you see them at an early age. You know, they have been beating you down, they have been punishing you, they've been making sure that they invalidate each and everything you do. So most of the times you will see, it does not matter what you try to do, how much you try to impress your parents, you know, things that you try to do in the home. As a kid, you know, you want to be like other kids, of course, because in that time, of course, eventually you don't really know what's going on. So you want to do and be treated the same way or equal as other kids. But most of the times, ladies and gentlemen, being a black sheep, it doesn't happen like that. Most of the times you're going to be treated different. So you're going to be treated like an alien in that family. So you'll notice as the time goes on from a young age that your voice is going to be taken away from you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I grew up a very shy person. I was a very shy person, ladies and gentlemen, from a very young age. I did not really know that there will be this time in this point in time whereby I will be able to speak out my opinions. You know, I'll be able to come out and speak out the way I feel, or sometimes to speak about real things and real problems. I did not know that I would be able to do that. But you see, I'm looking back in time, back in the days, and I'm thinking that I had that thing within me. Now, I remember one day, in my 20s, I think it was in my 20s, late 20s, you know. So there's this guy who walked in. He came into my place, that time, place where I was working in that time. So this man worked for this man worked for a radio station. So this man asked me, "Don't you really think that you should come and work with us at the radio station? Maybe people are going to need to hear your voice." The guy was like jokingly, guys, we're talking about a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? We're talking about maybe 20 something years ago. The guy came and told me, "Don't you really think that one day you should come and join us at the radio station? Maybe people will want to use you. Maybe we will use your voice, actually. We need your voice at the radio station." Now, in those days, of course, there is things that didn't make a lot of sense in that time. You know what? As you're evolving, you see, as you're evolving, you also understand that you're discovering so many things about yourself. You know, there's things that you remember as a black sheep. You're going to look back in time and you remember that at one point in your life, you had a voice. There is particular individuals you met along your journey that they wanted you to speak. They wanted to hear your opinions. They wanted to hear what it is you had to say. But usually, as a black sheep, you might have been a person who has always stayed away from the public scenes and you stayed away, hiding behind the closet. You have never wanted to come out and really say what it is that you've got on your heart. Your spirit, as a chosen one, is a spirit that carries a lot of light within. So, as a black sheep, there is people that can feel this light, you know, especially when we're talking about family members, you know, the people who are around you, family members and friends, they can feel this. They feel this energy within you. They do not really understand what it is that is actually making you really special and different from the rest. But a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, they can feel that energy. So most of the times, as much as they can feel that energy, the energy, they don't really want to know what it is, because you see, sometimes you can be a bit curious, but at the end of the day, you are trying to go out there and dig for the truth, but you're going to find out that actually the truth is very hard to bear. You may want to be curious about a person. You want to poke them in the back and see what they're all about. And then you're going to realize that actually you should have let them stay where they have been, because now you have made them talk, but at the end of the day, you cannot handle that energy and that frequency. So they're going to hit you with the facts and they're going to hit you with the truth. And that's the person that we call the black sheep. So you might have seen in your family, you've been quiet, you know, nothing is going on, you're silent, all your life you've been quiet. Even in your schools, you're the guy who always wanted to sit at the back of the classrooms. Even in the churches, you have wanted to sit at the back of the church. You did not want to participate in whatever it is was going on in that environment. Most of the cases, you have been silenced ever since you was a child. So you have never got the chance to talk. So your voice has been actually taken away from you. These people, I've told you guys, a lot of these individuals that are around you, a lot of the people around you, we're talking about family members and friends, they are going to masquerade as the people that you know, the people that you love, the people that you're dating, and the people like that. Most of the time, they're going to masquerade as the people that have got their best interests at heart. But usually, these individuals, they are devils in this. They are the devil in disguise. So most of the time, these individuals, on a very spiritual level, on a physical level, they want to be with you, they want to be around you. But on a spiritual level, they have got a mission to do. They have got a mission to play in your life. So they will masquerade as brothers, you know, they will masquerade as sisters, fathers, I don't know, whatever. But most of the times you're going to realize whatever it is they are doing within your life is only bringing around chaos. So whatever it is they have got to do in your life, it is only intended to push you further and further into chaos. And most of the times to keep you quiet, and even sometimes to close your vision and to cover you and to um, distract you from seeing where it is you want to go. So your voice as a black sheep has never mattered anyway from the day one. You wanted to speak, you know what I mean? You're with guys, you want to speak. You have got an opinion, and sometimes, let me tell you something, most of the black sheeps, a lot of these black sheep, you see them around the world. Those individuals, they are extremely wise and very, very intelligent. But the people around you, they do not want you to say a thing, because they know the very moment you open your mouth, everybody is going to run for cover. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. The reason why people are silencing your voice since a young age, your family members, your friends, your friends in schools, your relationship partners, even sometimes if you've been dating these narcissists, they do not want to hear you speak even one word for 1 minute. A lot of people, they know the very moment you open your mouth, they're going to run for cover. And these things are very, very subconscious issues. So this thing is happening subconsciously. It's a spiritual matter. So most of the times, spiritually, they feel that energy that is within you. They know that when this person starts speaking, we're going to run for cover. Do you know the reason why when you wake up as a black sheep, when you awaken, do you know the reason why you stop getting contacts from your family members and friends? I want to ask yourself a question. When you're a black sheep, have you recognized that the very moment you wake up, you awaken to the truth of who you are? Yes, that you've been scapegoated all your life and you're a black sheep of the family. Not only that, are you the chosen one? Have you noticed the reason? Have you realized that the very first people that are going to run away from you, they're your family members and your best friends? Do you know the reason why? The reason why they're running away from you is because they finally know they finally realize you have come back home to yourself. Guys, let me tell you something. When you awaken as a black sheep, people around you, they'll feel that energy. They are going to feel that energy. They will know there is something that is not unusual with this person. We have always known these individuals from a young age. They was different, but at this point in time, they are seeing you in a different image. They are now starting to see the soul that is within you and that silenced voice that they have always kept under the sheets. Now they're starting to see you for who you really are. Most of the times, that's why you see a lot of them are going to run for cover. They are the very first people who are going to abandon you. They are going to hate you. They will call you different kinds of names. They will call you crazy. They will call you stupid. They will call you a witch. They will call you this. They will call you that, because at that point in time, they do not understand that you're waking up or that you have awakened for that matter. So they know from that point onwards, it is going to be facts. It is going to be truth. It is going to be light. It is going to be authenticity. And a lot of those individuals, the ones who have been around you, they do not have a clue about being authentic. So they are going to run for cover. They will ignore you. They will run away from you. They will not call you. They will ghost you. Family members and friends, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see this as a black sheep. People are going to ghost you. They cannot handle the fact that you have awakened. They will run very, very far away from you. They have nothing to do with you. Family members, and let me tell you something is going to be very strange. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see the people that was closest to you in the family. So that's why normally it gets very tricky and very, very hard and painful most of the times. Because you will see now the people that were the closest to you in the family, they're the very first ones going to abandon you the very moment they notice and they feel this energy that you have awakened. You're starting to see things differently. They're the very first people going to run away from you. You are not going to need the reason. They will not need the reason to explain to you why they are running away from you. They are just going to block you anyway. They are going to ghost you. And they are going to run for cover. Because do you know why? Those individuals, for the very first time, they are going to realize that they have been playing a very big role in destroying you. So they've been playing this role behind the scenes without even knowing it most of the times. That they have been a part of your destruction, and they have been scapegoating you all along. So most of the people you see running away from you, those are the guys who have been a part of your problem. The people who very first run away from you, the moment you snap and awaken out of this kind of situation of scapegoating, those are the guys, they have been a part of your destruction. So now they think or they feel you can see through them. And they're trying to decide to run away and get very far away from you. They do not want anything to do with you. They do not want anything to do with you because they know this black sheep has awakened. And let me tell you something. Most of the times I've told you guys, when you awaken, Especially as a black sheep, I'm talking about in this video, I'm talking about the black sheep. As a black sheep, when you awaken, you will also realize that your light will start to shine even brighter than it did before. You know what I mean? So most of the times your light will shine through the entire family system. Because I've told you guys, when you awaken, you're wearing the glasses now. You're the one with the glasses, you know. They have already been hiding you from yourself for a very long period of time. They've been keeping you under the sheets. They've been hiding you from guests, from very, very important people sometimes. People, even sometimes who are your destiny helpers, they have been hiding you in the dark, in the shadows. When you awaken, that light that you're holding with, that light is going to come back to you. The light that you've always suppressed over the years, everything is going to come back to you. So what happens is now, it will shine through the entire family system and it's going to expose a lot of demons. The light that you've always had within, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, black sheep. It is going to spread very hard within the entire family system and it is going to expose a lot of demons. And we all know that these demons, they do not want anything to do with light. So they fear anything to do with light. They do not want anything to do with exposure. They do not want to be caught. They do not want to be known. So what they do, the only option they have to do is to run away from you. These people, they have been destroying you, not because they want to destroy you. Most of the times I've told you guys, these things happen spiritually, you know. All these things you see happening in the entire dysfunctional family system, everything is happening spiritually. A lot of people are used to seeing the 3D version of things. Yes, your father comes around home and they beat you and they say very nasty words at you. People do not understand that the whole world that we're living in is a spiritual world. So there's a very much more spiritual aspect to what is happening around us that we do not see. The whole entire dysfunctional family system is operating spiritually. So a lot of these individuals who have been a part of your game, your destruction, most of them, it has been a subconscious thing. So a lot of them are not even aware that they've been doing things that have been hurting you, or even sometimes have been harming you, or even worst case scenario, things that have been destroying you. They have not been aware of some of these things. The very moment you start to understand how the spiritual world operates, and the very moment you start to understand that everything that you see happening around you, everything has got a spiritual side of it, that's when you're going to start to have a lot of healing and clarity in your life. But the more you continue to see things on the 3D, because you see your brother, that's your brother, so they wear a suit, you know what they wear, you know where they sleep, you know how they do, you know who is their wife. You're looking at things in the 3D, it's going to be very hard because most of the time the 3D is there to confuse you. The 3D is the 3D is the matrix. You know, we guys already know that. It is going to continue confusing you, but the moment you start understanding things in a spiritual perspective, that is where the healing happens. So healing happens spiritually, ladies and gentlemen. You have got to know your voice has been silenced for a reason. So they never wanted you to speak. They wanted you to be quiet. They do not want to hear anything coming out of your mouth because they know the very moment you start to speaking and you say something came out of your mouth, everybody is going to run for cover because you're going to expose the truth because that's who you are. You're the black sheep of the family and you're the chosen one. And chosen one represent truth. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you've been a victim of that kind of scenario, if you have always been silenced on your life as a black sheep. And let me know your views about this video. And until then, guys, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. You always know that I love and appreciate your support. You can always book a session with me if you want to. You may donate and support my channel if you want to. And until then, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. There's more signing out. And I'll catch you in my next one. Peace.